What's up, you guys? Welcome to my Windowless Fun Van. I'm me, and we're going to talk about some Blacklight Retribution, because that's what I've been playing lately. APL Fisher and I actually have both been putting some quality time into this game. And I thought I would do an intro to Blacklight. And maybe I'll do this for a few free-to-play games as I graduate into more complex... This game has actually gotten me to dust off the mouse keyboard skills a bit. So maybe I'll move into Tribes. Maybe. We'll see. That game's pretty brutal. But I thought I'd do an intro, how to get started into Blacklight, because I wish that I had had something like that when I started playing. So here's what I did. I mean, I've got my notes down here, so you'll see my eyes doing this every now and then. But this is what I did. I just started a brand new account, and then sort of reverse engineered where I had eventually gone with the account that I have. So if you're not familiar with free-to-play games at all, this is how it works real briefly. You can advance your character, unlock new gear and customizable stuff by playing, or you can just throw money at it and get access to the stuff sooner. That's how they make their money. Blacklight Retribution and a bunch of other free-to-play games actually have the ability to sort of rent things to try them before you actually purchase them or spend your hard-earned XP on whatever. So you'll hear me sometimes refer to access because there's varying degrees of access. I got a scope for 3 days or whatever. So anyway, let's do this. Starting gear, Blacklight Retribution. This is what it started me out with. I don't know if you get a different scope, if it's sort of random, whatever. This is what I got. I got a clap emote. In Blacklight, the emotes are like taunts, so you can taunt somebody in the kill cam when you've murdered them. Or you can, at the end of the match, you can throw your taunt up during the post-game carnage report. So I got a taunt for 7 days. I got a camo for 3 days. Who cares about that, right? I got a sniper scope for 3 days. And then the guns, the bodies of the guns are different. So the base gun, combat rifle, SMG, assault rifle, stuff like that. You don't start with all of them. You just start with an assault rifle. But they do give you, they gave me the combat rifle and the SMG for 3 days. Access 3 days, you can test them out, see if you like them. Combat rifle's like a single shot. SMG is lower damage, high rate of fire, low recoil, stuff like that. Anyway, highly customizable weapon. So that's what you get when you're in this care package that drops right when you open. Like, here, a gift from the zombie gods. Go have fun in our game. You start off with default armor. Meh, it's okay. It's not the worst. You start off. Let's see what else. What else we got in here? Depot, access to weapon depot stuff. So the way the depots work is it's almost like point streaks in maybe like it's like the weapons crates in the Spec Ops in Modern Warfare, where you earn points by killing things, and then you can go to the crates and buy advanced weapons and more brutal shit. So that's basically what the weapon depots are. You, though, assign what you have access to when you go to the depot, and you start with the default is a hard suit, which is like a mech. Those are pretty formidable. Flamethrower, which is awesome that they start you with that, because that's the ultimate anti-hardsuit weapon. You burn the pilot out if somebody pops into one. Stinger missile, and then ammo refill and health refill. That's your default weapons depot. So if you're in the game, you're murdering people, you run to a weapon depot, that's going to be what's in there. If you want to change that, you're going to have to buy access to more stuff. But that's pretty good. Specifically, hardsuit and flamethrower. That's key. Gear. Gear is it can get pretty expensive as far as like time or money goes. So this would be something you want to save up for a little bit. I started with 3 slots, and I had access to a frag grenade and a combat knife. So the gear you start with, not so hot. Better armor also gives you more gear slots, so you can actually carry more things. But yeah, definitely something you're going to want to improve there. Again, I'm just breaking down what you have to start with. Weaponry. So the weaponry, you have one create a class slot. If you want more of those, you're going to have to pick them up. I think that just is going to cost you. I think it's usually about $10, but I saw it marked down to $7.50. One create a class slot, which is fine in the beginning. And you have access to one main gun type. That's the assault rifle. They call them receivers because it's just the center part of the gun, and then you stick the barrel and the stock and all that, the muzzle, everything on there. So you're going to be starting with an assault rifle and 3-day access to that combat and single-shot combat rifle and the SMG. If you want to get into bolt action, light machine guns, or the burst fire, which is sort of like, think of it like a BR from Halo, you're going to have to save up a bit. But it's not too bad. I'll get to that in a minute. Finally, your secondary weapon is light pistol. So, no shotties for a while. Alright, so that's pretty much what you're starting with in a brand new, naked, rookie account. Here's the thing. This is my thoughts before I move into the next thing. That's not terrible. The armor's okay, and if you are a good... In fact, most of the good, like, murderers I see online, they're doing it with, like, pretty straightforward stuff. It's like, they just are better shooters than me. So it's not like they have sweet gear. Yeah, he's got some rad armor, and it can take more damage than I can, but it's not that big a deal. He can take, like, one more shot from an assault rifle than I could. So it's like a minor difference, but it can be significant if your skills are badass. Alright, so, moving along. Before we move into the different budgets here, let me explain the currency of the game, alright? There's basically 4 currencies. There is CP, XP, GP, and Zen. I know, that's fucking insane. But let me explain real quick. So CP is your in-game points. Think of it like your point streaks. Put it in COD terms. This is the points you get for killing dudes, and the points that you can then turn around in the match and spend at a depot. You want an airstrike? Kill 5 or 6 guys. Go buy yourself an airstrike. If you have access to it, that is. If it's in your depot. That's CP. XP is your experience, which you get at the end of the match, and that pushes you towards your next level. All your level does is open up more stuff for you to buy using either in-game currency or real currency. That's all it is. That's all it is. I really don't give a shit about XP. And there's little buffs like, hey, you get more XP. It's like, well, I don't care. It's not necessarily getting me more things. You do get a little randomized like care package every now and then that's like you get a thing for a few days and you can try it, and that's important. But you'll get it eventually. I don't need to throw cash at leveling up faster in order to get something for 3 days and try it sooner. Don't care. You'll get there anyway. That's XP though. You're leveling up. All right, now here's the 2 important ones. GP, which I think stands for game points, but to me it will always be gold pieces. These are points you earn by playing. They are not equal to your XP or your CP. So at the end of a match, I may have like 2,500 CP saved up, which I could spend on stuff. Or I may get, X amount of XP. GP is calculated differently. I usually get between 100 and 150 GP at the end of a match. These are the points that you get by playing that can then be spent on stuff instead of real money. So this is important. And then the last one is Zen. Zen is the Perfect World, the publisher of the game. This is their currency. So this is you literally like give them your cash, they give you Zen, and then you can buy shit with that. That's what that is. 1,000 Zen equals about $10. So you have a frame of reference. All right, so 1,000 Zen equals $10. I get between 100 and 150 GP per game. So in order to get, for 1,000 GP, I'd have to play 8 or 9 games. Whatever, we'll talk about this here in a little bit. Think of it like this. GP is like time, Zen is money. All right, so here we go. Here's the next phase of this thing. Low, medium, high budget. Low budget. This is the money spot right here, as far as I'm concerned. $5 to $10. Say you want to get into this game. but you don't want to have to. You want to take a little jump ahead so that you at least have a gun you're happy with as you then move into like leveling up and adding attachments and stuff. Low budget, $5 to $10. The theory behind this is grinding out gold pieces is much more fun if you have a weapon that you're into. That's the theory. So the whole point of low budget is just to get a weapon in your hands that you're sort of comfortable with. So there's two things there that you need, in my opinion, that you need to focus on. There's the receiver. That's what type of gun you want. Do you want the assault rifle that you start with? Did you experiment with the combat rifle and the SMG? Do you like one of those? Sniper, maybe not the best to start with, unless you're like optic D treats or something like that. There's the burst fire. Let's see what else. There's like heavy assault. But that's a whole other thing. Yeah, what gun do you like? So here's what you do. You try them all. You have access to the assault rifle, the SMG, and the combat rifle for a few days at least, right out of the gates. Try them out. See what you like. I didn't try the SMG for a few days, and then when I finally did try it, I was like, "Holy shit! I like this way better than the assault rifle because the recoil's lower." I was having a hard time controlling the kick on the assault rifle because I am sucky. Combat rifle is good if you've got if you're like a really sharp shooter. Try them out. See what you like. That's key. So here's the thing: if you want to try out those other ones, bolt action, light machine gun, burst fire, then it's going to cost you 200 gold pieces to try them for one day. Now, if you figure I'm getting, and I'm no bueno at the game, I'm getting 100, 150 GP a game. If you play 2 games with your default assault rifle, you'll be able to try out one of the other guns that you're interested in for a day. So there you go, a couple games and you have access to all this stuff to experiment with. Try them all before you decide to throw some money at it. Now, in theory, you could just save up. You just play for a couple days and trade GP for the one you want. If you just want to hop right into it, though, you can put some Zen at. You can throw some Zen at it. So this is about what it's going to cost you. If you really want to skip to it, 2, 3, 4 games in, you're like, all right, I know what gun I want to like run with. It's going to cost you about $5, and that's to unlock the gun type permanently that you're into. Next up, scopes. Scopes are like super important to me. If you're bummed on the scope you're looking through, it's going to affect your accuracy and everything. So start with some iron sights. Again, try out as many as you can. You can throw, for a day, you can drop 15, 25 cents and try almost any of the scopes. I suggest doing that till you find one that you like that has like the right zoom and it doesn't like, trip you out when you're looking into it. And once you find that, that's going to be, let's see, that's going to be like $2, something like that, to unlock, $2-3 to unlock the scope permanently if you decide to just throw Zen at it. Either way, you're getting out for under $10. Now you have a base gun and a scope that you're into. Now it's a little bit easier to go and grind out those gold pieces. GP, whatever. Like I said, it's always gold pieces. And remember, every time you level up, you're going to be getting access to random little bits for 1, 2, 3 days. So you can try out, you can try out camos if you want, or maybe you'll get a new scope or a new muzzle or something. You can see if you like it, but that helps. Make use of all that stuff. Compare the stats, all that. Don't do what I did and get access to everything for a day, not knowing that it wasn't permanent. I didn't look at the pull-down menu and see, like, oh, I'm only getting this for one single day. I thought I was getting it for all time. I was like, God, it's so affordable. I think the Blacklight Retribution is so affordable. No, everything I bought disappeared after 24 hours. I was like, what the fuck? So don't do that. All right, moving on. Medium budget. I'm putting this at $10 to $30. This is a little bit different. If you're like, oh, all this customization is for princesses and prima donnas, just get me in there with some hardcore murder tools. For 10 to 30 bucks, you can hop in with some really advanced swag. And this is in the form of pre-mades. Now, admittedly, you could do 10 to 30 bucks. You could buy, customize whatever you want. You can spend that how you like. But there are pre-made guns assembled by Zombie that have components attached to it that are worth more than what you pay for the pre-made gun. For example, the Skirmisher, which is, I think, the first pre-made SMG that you can kind of scroll over to. It costs 750 Zen. That's $7.50 to unlock it permanently. The combined cost of all the parts, if you were to build that yourself, is 1,500 Zen, 15 bucks. So you basically get this badass gun for half price. However, you should definitely make sure that you're down with the type of gun. You know, do a little bit of research if you can to find out if you're into it. But because I've made some pretty shitty Blacklight weapons. I even saw on my Blacklight launcher that they're having a contest where players are able to submit their guns and have them become pre-made guns, like named after them or whatever, which is kind of cool. For now, though, it's all just made by the devs. But wait, there's more. I did not do this. However, if you really want to just cut to the chase and just get down to business, there are hero classes. There's one right out of the gates. Basically, a hero class it's a character that comes fully equipped with armor, weapons, gear, depot items, everything. Secondaries. It's like the whole package. These cost you 20 bucks. So if you want to throw 20 bucks and just fuck all this customization shit, I just want a guy who's already like built up. There you go. He is like, you can't, once you get him, he has his set gear though. So it's not like you can get him and then swap out parts later. You are getting him as a package and you select him to play with, and that's the same every time. But 20 bucks right now. There's sort of a juggernaut heavy character you can play with, and there's another hero class in there that you can get through a random little lottery drop. He's a little bit more agile robot. There's going to be more of these heroes as time goes on, but if I remember right, Garrettson told me that if you were to build up the equivalent of these hero classes, it would cost about 80 bucks. So, I don't know. If you got the 20 bucks to blow and you don't have the time to, or the interest in fucking around with building all this shit up, maybe that's worth it. Alright, finally there's high budget. This is for you high rollers that are willing to spend more than 30 bucks on this free-to-play game. You're getting up near retail cost right there. The one thing I would throw in here is the loadout slots. They are nice to have, but it is a luxury. It's not necessary. And I put it in the high budget category because, at least currently, you can't spend your gold pieces, as far as I know. You can't spend your GP on the loadout slots, so you gotta spend the cashola. It's 10 bucks. Or I saw it marked down to 750 Zen, $7.50, so who knows. If you want to, like, start swapping between a few different... I figure you need to have more than one weapon to justify more than one loadout slot. So at that point, you've either logged a lot of time with the game, or you're throwing some caps. But that's it. I think that's about how you should start Blacklight. Scope gun, figure it out, test everything. You can test literally everything for a day, even the advanced shit that's not available till like level 30. You can test it for a day for like nothing. See if you're into it. If you are, you can get it if you want, and then just run with it. Jared Garrettson from Zombie actually hooked me up with a few little tidbits so I could experiment with them, but if I were starting brand new, that's what I would do. I'd probably start with an SMG, throw a red dot on there, and then I would just carve my way through the GP and make very targeted GP purchases after experimenting with stuff. That's what I would do. Eventually, if you spend enough time and or money on the game, you can start customizing your camos, your little gun tags, your emotes, fun to screw around with. So hopefully this has been informative, and it encourages you to hop in because I'm seeing a lot of the same badasses in the lobbies. I need some new blood. So come play Blacklight with APL and I. You guys rock. I will see you guys on the battlefield. Tomorrow, Call of Duty World Reveal, Tuesday, May 1st at 9 p.m. Eastern Time during the playoffs on TNT.